Hi, I'm Rhonda Friend. I'm your health and human science educator here in Fayette County, and this is Extension Kitchen. Today we have Patrick Ripberger with us from Reid, so welcome.
Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you for having me.
When did I first meet you?
Oh, man. Okay, so I first met Rhonda when she was my professor at Ivy Tech. And I always consider her my barefoot professor. I don't know if I've told you that before.
Oh, no.
But what that means is, you know, when you're going to college, when you're getting education, sometimes the education that's thrown at you is it's big, it's heavy, it's hard to understand. Mm-hmm. But there are a few teachers out there, like Rhonda, who have the ability to keep her toes like planted in the ground while she shares this information. So she has the roots and she has the information. It's just the barefoot professor. So that's what
I never heard that
always
before.
thought of you as that.
I don't know. I'm flattered and embarrassed, like all at the same time. Well, so today we're going to work on a gluten-free recipe, and we're going to try to make it a little more heart healthy. So we're going to do gluten-free tortillas and turkey taco meat. Now, if you're not familiar with reading a nutrition label, every food item sold in the United States has to have a food label. And if you go to the back, you will see, so check this out, no carbohydrates, right? That's fantastic. And a serving is 4 ounces. So 4 ounces of ground turkey, it's actually a serving. So what we're going to do is take this ground turkey and we're going to turn it into taco meat. A little more information, there's only 160 calories in ground turkey, and what we're going to add to it today is just going to add very little additional calories. And this is a really nice brand because it's only 7% fat, so it's super lean. Now, so in a minute, I'm going to get us started here, but just so you'll know what your job is, you're going to be making the tortillas, and there are a lot of gluten-free products out here like this. So this is you can substitute for regular all-purpose flour, but it's gluten-free. There's lots of recipes out there. I have a favorite one, and it actually uses coconut flour and tapioca flour. We're in Connorsville, my friend, so I could not find the coconut flour.
Yeah, but there are plenty of alternatives for gluten flour, for sure.
Yeah, so what have you tried?
I've tried this one. I usually try the all-purpose. So when I make anything with bread, it's usually pancakes, because pancakes are amazing. Mm-hmm. And they have an all-purpose pancake mix that's gluten-free, and that's what we keep in our cupboard stocked all the time.
Yeah. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to show everyone how to smash some garlic clove. And why don't you tell us, why are you interested in gluten-free stuff?
All right, yeah, so...
Did you know that? You want to try? You looked real excited.
Yeah, if we get to smash some...
So go ahead, just smash
just
one.
Like
oh, wait, I got to stay right here.
Just like that?
It is bam.
Wow, like a...
Harder. Okay. There you go.
There we go. That felt like a ninja punch. Yeah, so when I was about 21 or 22, I decided it was time to lose some weight because I was about 450 pounds. So
wow, that's amazing.
Imagine double the guy here, and that's what you would see. And during that time, I was kind of eliminating things from my diet, and I realized that when I had gluten, my stomach would swell up. I wouldn't feel good by the end of the day. And once I cut it out, it kind of changed everything. You know, I felt more focused. I felt like I had more energy. And I just realized that the gluten was kind of an intolerance in my body, and it didn't suit me well. So, and that happens to a lot of people, and it can happen at any time. So it's important.
So was that a new thing for you, or?
Yeah, it seemed like a very new thing. Once I changed my diet drastically, trying to be healthier, I realized that when I had gluten, I didn't feel good at all. So it's. So
you had like gastric distress.
Right. So it's. I have a better life if I stay away from gluten, and that's what I do. So it's all about just feeling good and knowing what works for your body, for sure.
So did that help you with your diet, your lifestyle changes as well?
It changed a lot. So because when you try to restrict gluten or eliminate gluten from your diet, there's a lot of things you can't have.
Yeah.
You know,
what do you miss most?
Oh man, Nutter Butters. I think if I could get a gluten-free Nutter Butter, that would be a good day.
You should contact Purdue, and because they have a food science lab, and I bet you could like find some partnership about that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just have kind of cut up a couple cloves of garlic, so not real hard. And then I'm just going to add about a half an onion. So if you want, you're going to use dry measure. So this is for wet measure. This is for dry measure, and I think you can take that ring apart and pull it off, but you're going to measure 2 cups of flour. And the best way to do that is to use a spoon so you don't pack it down, and then you're just going to dump your 2 cups of flour in there.
No packing.
Yeah. Now, do onions make you cry?
We'll see. I don't know.
You really don't cook, do you?
No, I cook. I'm more of a baker. So.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to bake?
I used to really enjoy making banana bread. That was something.
So is that pretty easy to make? Gluten-free, do you feel like just using substitute
To be honest,
flour?
I haven't tried it. I think I just packed a little. But I'm going to...
That's all right. Just dump it in there.
Yeah. So we'll keep that a secret. But yeah, I haven't really made that since I transferred over to more of a gluten-free lifestyle.
So did your family transition with you? So you got married last year?
Yes. So my wife also has some restrictions. So she tries to stay away from
I'm making
from dairy.
a terrible mess.
So am I. This is all good. So we try to stay away
My cutting board's not big enough, Patrick.
That's all right. So we try to stay away from dairy and gluten. So you can imagine our fridge is just full of fresh things because that's pretty much what you can do.
Wow.
When you try to stay away from both.
Okay. So I'm just going to dump this in here. I didn't do a very good job topping on that. All right, so no dairy. So I'm thinking, did I bring dairy? Well, we didn't bring sour cream, so right on.
We're good, yeah.
All right, I'm just going to stick this up here on our hot plate. I haven't practiced with this, so I'm not real sure how hot it's going to get. But you want to get started about a medium-high heat, and you don't want to burn that garlic, though, because it will turn real nasty on you.
It's starting to smell good though, so I don't know if we have smell-o-vision installed, but
That's so true. All right, to this you're going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So you're going to use your spoons. I'm gonna, let's see, so I've got some lettuce cut up for us because we're actually, if your tortillas turn out, guess what? We're gonna make like tacos.
Okay. There we go.
You were sweating. I told you to take that coat off.
It's getting a little warm now.
It is toasty warm in here.
Yeah, the lights are really...
It is toasty warm in here. All right, so if you can hand me a bowl down there, I'm going to get rid of this stuff here that we're not working with anymore. Thank you. All right, and to that, you're going to add a half teaspoon of salt, and I've got sea salt.
Okay.
I could talk a lot about different kinds of salt. Have you ever seen it's on Netflix, but it's a cooking show, and the lady talks about fat well, that was a
little salty. It was a little, that's okay. That's okay.
All right, so that might be a little salty, but we're not going to worry too much about that. So she talks about fat, salt, heat, and acid. So ever since then, no matter what I make, I put a little acid in there. So a tomato is an acid. If you add Worcestershire sauce to something, that's an acid. If you add soy, that's an acid. So what goes really good with taco flavored stuff is lime. So I brought a lime today, so
I've seen that at the fancy taco trucks for sure. So.
Fancy taco truck. So we're going to turn this up a little bit. It doesn't seem like it's doing a lot yet, but it's starting to, I can feel the heat off of it. All right, you are burning up. All right, so we've got 2 cups of our gluten-free flour. What's on there? Tell us a little bit about the nutrition. Do you know how to read a nutrition label?
I could read a nutrition label.
All right, so let's share with them what's in here.
All right, so what is in this gluten-free flour is rice flour, tapioca starch, potato starch, and
xanthan
gum and salt. So that was the only one.
Do you know why xanthan gum's in there?
No, why is it in there?
Okay. So wheat flours are full of gluten, right? So the more you need a wheat product, like you're making a roll, you're making bread, the more you knead it, you develop those glutens, and they're like strands of protein.
Okay.
And that's what gives bread its chew, which that's what we love about bread, right?
Yeah.
That's probably what you miss, because it's super hard to replicate that with a gluten-free flour. But the xanthan gum kind of adds a little fibrous connecting tissue to it, so that you can actually make those pancakes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So how many calories, and does it have protein?
Yeah, so there's 110 calories per serving, which is about a fourth a cup.
Okay.
And protein, we're sitting at right around 1 gram. 1 gram of protein per serving.
Which I would think maybe a regular flour, well, it has to have some protein in it, I would think. I don't know off the top of my head. All right, so to this, so did I give you a spoon?
Do you have
You got stuff all over your spoon.
It's covered in flour, but...
Just shake it off. Go ahead and use it, and kind of make sure the salt and the baking powder and your flour is kind of all mixed together.
Okay.
I hear this. Can you smell this? I know we have masks on. Why do we have masks on?
We have masks on because we're in a pandemic.
We're in a pandemic. We both work in either agriculture or the health and human science field, healthcare. And so we are following, what would you call it? What's the fancy?
I would say we're following just the masking that's kind of required through the CDC right now, and
public safety,
public health, and hopefully everyone at home is wearing a mask too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so you've got that done. So now you're going to use, so this is a tablespoon, so you're going to get 3 tablespoons of the olive oil. And just kind of drizzle that in there. Yep, this is definitely starting to cook. All right. So you studied, so I had you in class at Ivy Tech, so you were in the Human Service program.
Yes, yep.
I had an intern last semester, too, that was working on her practicum, and she's going to actually be on Extension Kitchen, too.
All right.
So have a little bit of experience with Ivy Tech. So what did you do with that? Like, where's your career gone? And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and cut up this avocado.
Well, yeah, so I went to Ivy Tech originally for human services, but I didn't kind of put it all together until a few years later when I got my general studies degree, where I bridged over to IU East up in Richmond and studied psychology. And then after that...
Did you see I couldn't get that seed out?
I didn't see that, no.
Oh, yeah.
They're tricky, right?
Well, yeah, they can be, and so when you can't get the seed out that way, I like to just kind of give it a cut.
Yeah.
And then just peel it off like that. Look at that. That is.
I heard that you can sprout those too if you want to do a little experiment.
I do.
You put some toothpicks in it, and you can put it kind of sitting in water, and it'll grow a little bit. I don't know if you can get an avocado tree or bush.
I bet you can. I bet it wouldn't produce fruit though.
Right.
Do you like avocado?
Oh yeah, I love avocado. I had a avocado toast yesterday morning, so it's.
What is an avocado toast?
So you should get some gluten-free bread if you're gluten-free. You can make that in the toaster, and then you just spread avocado on it, and I poured a little of everything bagel seasoning on it, so it was almost like a bagel, but it was an avocado toast with seasoning. So
you see, I kind of just peeled this, so I'm just gonna throw that back there. Well, that's. I don't think I've ever had avocado toast.
Yeah, avocado toast. It's good. It's got good nutrients. Gets your day started. Yeah. So I studied psychology at IU East, and now I'm at Purdue Global studying public health.
Oh. I'm hoping you'll come do an internship with me.
Oh, I'm looking for one, so I might.
I would enjoy that a lot. So what do you plan on, what are your career goals? What do you plan on doing with that public health degree?
I hope I can help people. That's kind of the plan. So I do a lot of public health work at Reid within community benefit. So really the education I'm getting is kind of strengthening the work that we're doing, which is a great thing. So.
What's the hardest thing about public health? I'm going to get 2/3 of a cup of warm water.
The hardest thing about public health that I've probably discovered so far is the how to translate information to different types of people. because there's different learning styles, different opportunities to get information across, but trying to find out how to make that message go to everybody equally is challenging.
We've been working on with the IU, well, is it IU? No, it's the Purdue Health Advisors.
Yep.
Reid's a part of that. Purdue at the extension level's part of that. And we've been working on social determinants of health, trying to figure out what those are. I kind of forgot about these. Where was my knock on the door? All right, so that's starting to look really good.
They're looking good. Not burned. It looks good.
No.
Is this water for
Yeah,
me?
so you can go ahead and dump that in. So the social determinants of health group that we're sharing, we work on together, is kind of looking at that messaging.
Yeah, how to inform people of how really everyday things can impact our health. Things that we don't think about. Things about how much activity we're having in our daily lives, how much fruits and
Yeah,
vegetables
so do you know what the recommended kind of activity level is?
Well, you're the Purdue educator, so I'll lean on you for this one. What's the recommended?
Okay, so it's recommended that we do 150 minutes a week of moderate to vigorous activity. Now, both you and I survived COVID, right?
Correct.
I have not got back to that yet.
Right.
I am still pretty puny sometimes, but...
Right. But I think one thing you taught me is how that can kind of be broken up into these little chunks.
Yes, at least 20 minutes at a time. So technically 22 minutes, 6 days, and 20, you can get that 150 minutes in.
Yeah, because it seems like a lot, 150. But when you break it up, it's not that bad. It's not.
And you're actually, I'm gonna pull this towards me a little bit. So you're actually walking an hour a day.
Yeah, I try to walk every morning. Just kind of helps me collect my thoughts, and also I get some exercise out of it. And I believe Purdue Extension in Fayette County, they've mapped out a walking route here in Fayette County.
They did. So that was part of some good work that Becky Marvel was part of. And so, and then we have a program called Get Walking. Did you do that with us one time?
Yes, yeah.
And so you can set goals with Get Walking, and I send an email reminder. So do you remember getting those? So like,
I do.
You might be like, oh, I just can't, and then here comes an email reminder. So it works kind of like some of those like Fitbits and stuff like that give you a little nudge or reminder. But you can actually get a map, and it shows a lot of different paths downtown. Tells you how long, how far. So if you say, well, I only have 12 minutes, we got a path for that. So how's that looking?
It's looking like it's clumping up a bit.
Now, our hands are impeccably clean, right?
Yes.
So I'm okay if you kind of get in there and
kind of mush it.
Kind of see if you can get it to come together in a ball, and then we'll decide, does it kind of need more liquid? How's that feel?
Maybe a little more
Play-Doh?
liquid.
A little
Maybe
more?
Just a little more.
Okay. All right, there you go. So I've got our avocado cut up. Our meat, oh yay, it's starting to cook. That's fantastic. Now, so turkey and chicken breast needs to be brought to a temperature of 165 degrees. And I just want to remind everybody, too, if you want to do Get Walking, I try to run that program in the spring and in the fall, and all it takes is just calling our office and giving me an email. So if you send an email to rsfriend@purdue.edu, I'll sign you up.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah, that's great.
So I'll probably be doing that here pretty soon, just because it's starting to warm up. We can get outside. Some of us are kind of still trying to heal from COVID.
Yeah, it's individual to everybody, the recovery, for sure.
Yeah.
So this is starting to feel like something my 9-year-old would really enjoy playing with. Is that the right consistency?
It looks like, as long as there's not like really super goopy wet spots.
Yeah, it feels like some fun edible slime.
All right, so I'm going to trust your judgment. Okay. We're going to throw our garbage bowl back over there. All right, so what I like to do is just take a little flour to kind of dust the surface and plop it down. You didn't have to be told to plop it down. You're just like, well, I got this.
We're going to have fun doing it.
All right, so that looks good. Okay. So cut it into 8 pieces. That'll kind of help you guide Now, okay, now come on. No. Let's start even.
Why? That's
do
so
and a
fun.
half and do like make 8 wedges, and then you're gonna make.
This is why you're the educator.
I'm telling you. Oh gosh.
Okay, I'll make a nice pizza.
Yeah. So do you make pizza crust gluten free?
I do. I sound like a really non-cooking person, but no, I don't.
No.
We do a lot of rice and beans at the house. That's kind of our favorite thing. Anything that goes well with rice and beans or gluten-free pasta.
I should have brought black beans. Those are super nutritious.
Yeah, for
All
those
right.
of you watching.
For those of you, yeah, you're like a hot mess. Look at this. We've made a mess. So I'm going to get these kind of, shove these over out of your way.
Okay.
There you go. I brought you a rolling pin.
All right.
So we're going to just dust this rolling pin a little bit. And can you imagine what this looks like to people? Like, look at this mess.
This looks like a real kitchen.
It sure does.
This is actual. This is real.
All right, so you're gonna. This is nice. I think you did good. So you're just gonna flatten that a little bit. Do you need to wash your hands?
Because I think my.
All right, well, let's rinse your hands off. Oh shoot. So my meat is back up here. So if you look at this.
I can feel our director giving me like
He's like going, those two people are just ridiculous. Hey, I did not. Okay, so I am the Health and Human Service or Science educator here in Fayette County, but I am not a professional chef. I do like to eat. I mean, no kidding. You know my mantra about weight, right?
Yes.
So in school, I was always that. Now that's going to you're going to smush that too. So let's see if we can isolate that. But I've always struggled with weight problems since I was a little girl. I think I weighed like 200 pounds in the 6th grade. People might say, why do you guys even talk about that? But I think it's important that people know they're not alone, right?
Yes, definitely.
And so my mantra is, and I probably said this in class, Barefoot Professor, I'm getting a t-shirt.
That's a real thing.
Barefoot, because I literally did not wear shoes in class.
I mean, that kind of influenced it when I saw her come without shoes on, but.
Yeah, because I'm the real deal.
Right.
Like I'm not, but I say a lot that I work really hard to not weigh 300 pounds. I remember, what was your highest?
I think 450 was my max, yeah.
All right, now if this kind of sticks.
Yeah, sticking a little bit. This is completely educational, so this.
Yeah, so you might have to add, and look, see it's really thin over here, so kind of feel it and kind of push this way a little bit. But it is a struggle, right? So we can get a lot of things right, and certainly, we know some guidelines that can help us. So eating a half a plate of fruit and vegetables. We have 7 minutes, so we're not even close to being done.
We're going to get this.
We're going to get there. Well, if we don't get done, then I'm telling you, you can just go right ahead and finish this best you can yourselves. But all right, so while you're working on that, but half of our plate really should be fruit and vegetable. Did you know that?
I've heard that, yes, yeah.
So look how old these are. I've had these probably since I was a teenager or something.
Do you want me to go ahead and try to fry this up, this tortilla?
Yeah, so get your skillet. I gave you a skillet back there. So I am going to add, this is my homemade taco seasoning. So if you'd like that recipe, and I already told you why I try to make all my own stuff, right?
Yeah, do I need to add some oil to this?
Yeah, I would spray it, and I've got it up. So now I know we need to kind of prep our meat a little better so it'll finish cooking. But you're just going to add 3 tablespoons of the taco seasoning. We're going to add, and I'm going to eyeball this. Are you all right if I just eyeball it?
Go for it. This is this is a real kitchen. Do you see that? There was a nice flour puff. I grew up watching Emerald, so you got to do a bam.
Oh, bam! All right, okay. So we're just going to add a couple tablespoons of, do you like this? The squeezed tomato paste?
Yeah, it's like toothpaste.
Well.
Tomato toothpaste.
Not really. Like it's in a tube like too.
Exactly. That's what makes the toothpaste. Yeah.
So that's just going to add some richness to this. And so, all right. So you think you can make another one? I hope this is hot enough to cook. Pull this a little closer. This is not like my stove at home for sure. I have a gas stove, and I'm telling you, that's really the way to go. So you can crank it up. All right, so we're just going to cook this down, and I'm hoping break up all these little pieces right here. Look at that. Doesn't that look good?
It does look good.
All right, so this is beef broth, and I'm just going to add a little. Just pour that in there and just kind of moisten it up a little. People hate that word. I don't know.
I've heard that, yeah.
What the deal is about that. All right, so we've successfully made a mess. We've got lettuce, we've got avocado. Now your next job, and we need a spatula. Did we get a spatula out? Oh, let me get you one. So I'm hoping this bad boy cooks for you. If not, you know I have a backup plan.
That's going to turn into a tortilla one way or another. So.
No matter what.
No matter what.
Do something with it.
Yeah, but thank you for inviting us on, Rhonda.
Well, we didn't get to all the good stuff you do. So talk about some of the stuff Reid's doing in our beautiful community.
Yeah, definitely. So Reid Health Community Benefit is a department at Reid that focuses on how we can improve the health of the population that we serve. Mm-hmm. And a way that we do that is every 3 years we complete a community health needs assessment that is informed by not only surveillance data that we have in public health, like the BRFIS and different things where we can see.
What?
It's a survey that's national that kind of gives us some input on what are some national health trends that we should really focus on.
Okay, so what are we focusing on?
So what we've discovered in our service area is some of the highest needs are directly impacted by mental health and substance misuse, and also physical activity, nutrition, and weight. So all the health outcomes that are the highest kind of come back to these trends.
So I think our taco meat is finished, so we're just going to assemble a taco. Now, Patrick, I don't know. You could try.
Edible, you know?
You could try.
It looks edible.
But you make it, so whether it's gluten-free, we're just going to try to get 4 ounces of that right there. You've grated some sharp white cheddar. Do you like cheddar cheese?
Yeah, cheese is good.
All right, so, yep. And then you can smash some avocado on there. I'll give you a fork. Let's put that on there. And this is my homemade salsa. I am stingy with this recipe, but if you want this recipe, if you pop me an email to rsfriend@purdue.edu, I'm happy to send it to you. Want to try it?
Where did you learn to make it?
I found a recipe, and then
Was it when you were a monk in the mountains?
Yeah, it was when I was. Well, I'll have to tell you sometime, but I'm Appalachian, so we like to cook our own stuff. So you can go ahead and put some of that on there, and that'll be it. So this is turkey tacos, reduces the fat, a lot healthier, cleaner eating, gluten-free, so we don't make you sick. But I found a recipe, I was going to say, and I took the sugar out.
Okay.
Except for just 2 tablespoons out of a whole batch that made like 10 quart jars. So, but you'll taste it. You'll know it's kind of sweet. So triple dog dare you to eat the...
All right, I'll try it.
And then there's some lettuce over there. So thank you for joining us on the Extension Kitchen. Until next time, take a step toward health, one meal at a time.
All right, thank you, Rhonda.
Bye.